Welcome into another Docs Daily, brought to you Friday, May 23rd, here, 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm joined with Craig Trapp, Canadian Craig. We're going to talk about that. Nick Menken and Robert Ferringo. We're here to talk a little sports on Friday. You guys don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Drop in the comment sections what you're into, side total, proper, otherwise. I apologize, Right Cape. I was running behind Canadian Craig. We'll get to that, though. We're going to go around the horn. Let me pay some bills, though, real quick before I do that. Free $60 account. If you're new to Docs and you haven't signed up for this, I don't know what you're waiting for. Park a free $60 in your account when you sign up. DocSports.com/free60. You got to do the slash for the free 60. That's how you get it. Go right to DocSports.com. You'll see the link. It's real easy to sign up. YouTube Premium, $19.99. You get all Indian Cowboys, just all that circus with Indian Cowboy for $19.99. You add on the Premium Plus for $49.99. You get Indian Cowboy Circus included. Plus, you get 3 plays from Craig Trapp that are not his. There are 2, 3, 4 stars, maybe his, maybe one from each of these guys right here. I keep pointing. They're over there. I want to go, whatever. You know what I'm doing here. It's Friday. It's F around and find out Friday. Don't piss me off, chat. Don't piss me off. All right, we're going to go around the horn. Robert, we're going to start with you because you're not from Canada. So what do you got going on today? What do you got? What happened last night? I hope you had a better night than I did.
First big, did nothing yesterday. A big pass day yesterday. Took my daughter to Auburn to visit colleges there. So I was off yesterday, but back with a 7-unit WNBA play today. My first 7-unit of the season. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. I like to collect some data on the WNBA. A lot of moving parts, a lot of players, a lot of coaches change places. Basketball is really that sport that you need to see how everyone's interacting with one another before you can make determinations on things. So my first 7-unit WNBA play is tonight. And tomorrow I'll have a 7-unit baseball play on a decent little run there, as well as probably have a 5-unit prop play in tomorrow night's NBA game. So looking for a big weekend.
There you go. A little nice Memorial Day weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We will be here. Let me just mention Saturday, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know, Griffin Murphy. If you are around the Arizona or Chicago area, we're not quite sure, and see Griffin Murphy out in the wild, take a picture, DM it to me on Twitter, and I'll send you $100. I'm just saying, we'll find him somewhere. Nick Menken, where are you at? By the way, hold on real quick. Nobody collected on the on the Cincinnati finding Craig last week at a Skyline Chili. Nobody collected on that. That money's just sitting there, folks.
And I was there like 3 times over 4 days.
Yeah. Easy money.
Lenny, I'm with you. I mean, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat yesterday. I mean, brutal day on the baseball diamond. I'm going to tell it how it is. I had the Detroit Tigers. Our Detroit Tigers absolutely didn't score a run, 7-0, and then my 7-unit, just a bad read on my behalf. Kirby, he was okay, not his best start, but the Houston Astros just absolutely put a butt whooping on the Seattle Mariners. Stepping back here, I'm still 5-2 in my last 7 cards on the baseball diamond. Lower volume today, 1 play. WNBA got off to a good start with the Indiana Fever. They covered by a hook yesterday, so we're 1-0. We're staying hot. We got another 2-unit play coming out tonight, but we have a NHL play. 1 play across all sports here. We got a prop, NBA, NHL, and MLB. 1 play across all sports, lower volume here today, Lenny.
I like it. I like it. Friday. I'll tell you what. Tigers were just one of many losses for me yesterday. I mean, the Phillies. 2-0. How about laying 2.5 runs with juice and not covering? Right. Oh, what's that guy? Canadian Craig. What do you got going on? Your name is forever and always going to be Canadian Craig.
Yes. Just because you put 4 random numbers on a hat, I'm not supposed to know.
1776, bro.
Like
it's in red, white, and blue. There's feathers and stuff on here. It's $5.99 at a gas station. It's red, white, and blue, for Christ's sake. I had this hat on. And Craig asked me, what's 1776?
I thought it was a Denver Nuggets, though, when they post the 4 digits. I think it's like 1810, 18, whatever they post, that's like the altitude of Denver. I was like, dude, why is he wearing a Nuggets hat? But I do big play today. I'm going for 5 in a row in the NBA. Hit the Thunder 7-unit play yesterday, easy winner. I like game 2s of the series. I got another one tonight, 7-unit. This one's going to be a top total. So make sure you get in the totals play. I do have smaller plays in player prop in the NBA. I've got a 4-unit play in WNBA and a 2-unit play in Major League Baseball. So to me, it's usually one strong play a day and then a couple little smaller plays. So whatever you like, get over. And of course, at the grid, you can just get in on what you want. There's several. I don't think there's any 8-unit plays today, but several 7 units, right, Robert?
Yes, we had another 8-unit loss yesterday, unfortunately. But no, actually, as a matter of fact, doesn't Jason Sharp have his 8-unit NHL game of the year is tonight? That's right. I thought.
Yes, because
I didn't see it. It wasn't up earlier, so
Yep.
must have put in later.
he
Okay,
does,
so 8
because
units.
he mentioned it in his free pick video that's out now and available on Doc's Daily video section.
All right, so we'll see. We'll see. The hockey's been tough the last few nights, so I can't wait to talk about that and get Nick's opinion on the hockey
There
tonight.
you go. Let's talk NBA first, though. Last night, do you just lay the wood with OKC? This was, by the way, when I said I went 1-9, that was the bet I won, was the laying the wood with the OKC Thunder. Robert, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on NBA tonight? Knicks, I mean,
Okay.
devastating.
That game was nuts, right? I'm sure you guys already covered all that, so we won't rehash it. It's tough to tell where the Knicks' heads are going to be at tonight. Okay, so at first for me, it was just a stay away. You just have no idea how they're going to bounce back from that. 6 feels too high anyway. I just don't feel like there's that big of a discrepancy between the two teams, right? So that kind of jumped up at me that the number was even higher than game 1. But then the handicapper's spidey sense got tingling this morning, and I like the Knicks here, okay? Because when you see 70% of the action, everybody and their sister is jumping on Indiana after that unbelievable comeback. Easy to forget that they were down 14 points with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, okay? Not only that, but this number is at 6, around 12 o'clock, around noon Eastern today. That number started to quiver. You saw that go to 6.5 at several books. So we have just a pure reverse line movement here where all of the action from the public is going in on the Pacers based on the last thing that they saw, but the number's going the other way. So that's pointing to the Knicks to me. We have seen them light people up in MSG before. They did it in the Boston series, so we know that they have that club in their bag. That's what I think they're going to do. I'm not in a rush to bet against Indiana because they're hot. They're playing great. I don't like laying points to teams that can score as quickly as they do. So just from a technical standpoint, I don't love anything about it. But that reverse line movement was enough to make me pull the trigger on the Knicks, and I'm going to bet with the books tonight.
There you go. Knicks from Robert. I'm going to address this real quick because it's Clapback Friday. Tony's here on Tuesdays. Where are you on Tuesday? I don't see you in here pumping Tony George up on Tuesdays when he's here, hitting the thumbs up button, asking a damn thing. I don't see none of that. So I'll see you on Tuesday. All right. Craig Trapp, what do you got going on in the NBA?
Well, like I said, a 7-unit total, so we won't talk about the total, but I do think the play is the Knicks in the first period. I think the Knicks are going to, it's like -1.5, -2, depending on the book.
First quarter, we're talking basketball.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, Canadian, man. He's thinking.
He's got me screwed up. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was at a rehearsal dinner, which is crazy. Rehearsal dinner on Thursday. I got a Friday night wedding. My whole freaking mind is blows. I mean, like 17 beers
He's
later.
so perplexed by Friday weddings. It's not even funny.
I'm like, I didn't even know there was such a thing, but there is. So like, I'm gonna be at the wedding in like 3.5 hours. I was like, a 5 o'clock wedding on Friday. Like everybody's gonna take off at work, I guess.
Do they cater Chipotle?
Well, I wish. In our little small town, Marietta, Ohio, where I live closest, they just got a Chipotle like 3 months ago. So it has changed my life.
You signed that petition. You might have
I got to drive 30 minutes still to it, but it's here now. But yeah, so I think you take the first quarter, first period, whatever you want to call it there, Canadian Lenny. That's what it really should be. Crazy Lenny and Canadian Lenny, like just depends on the night, how many beers and drinks. But I think you take the first quarter. I just think they get it done. I think they're going to come out like balls of fire. Now, Robert, every game that the Pacers have been down like 15 plus in the playoffs, they've come back and covered the in game. So maybe you wait, they cover the first quarter, then you jump on the Pacers. Maybe they're down 7 or 8. Now you're getting probably 10, 11, maybe 9, something like that. that would be a lot safer. So maybe you play that. Kind of like the Edmonton Oilers, where every time until game one, they go down early, then they come storming back in the third. So maybe there's some in-game wagering in this one.
There you go. Nick, what are your thoughts on the NBA?
Yeah, this is just a tricky line. You wake up and this is just pulling you in for the public to take these Indiana Pacers with the points. I mean, who wouldn't? You've seen what they've done through the playoffs. You saw what they did in game one. But this New York Knicks team, they were up, like they played a lot better the whole game until that 2 minute and 50 whatever seconds left in that game one. But you look at this line and it just makes you think, why is it -6.5? Can they beat the Indiana Pacers that continuously come back in the fourth quarter here? I would lay it with the New York Knicks, but I like what Craig's saying. Take the Knicks early here because we saw Indiana come back in that second half. They're a very good defensive team in the second half, and their pace of play is good. But I think the New York Knicks come out absolutely hot tonight. It's a must-win game for the Knicks in my eyes, so I would lean towards that Knicks. This line for the Indiana Pacers, it's just sucking you in to take that +6 here with the Pacers.
Yeah, I'm probably going to bet the Pacers every game because I'm telling you right now. I'm bitter from the Pistons and the Knicks series, so I am that guy. That's why I don't sell picks. These guys are the professionals. Me, I'm just the pretty face here. Okay, that's all I am, wearing a pretty hat that is from Canada, apparently.
Look, Lenny, that's where what you just said about the Pacers. That's where I'm at with the Thunder. To be completely honest, with you. I will cut them and release them every playoff game that they play from here on out. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't lose to another number, or maybe they don't cover one game in the finals or something like that. There's no point in even thinking about it. They're a juggernaut. They're the best team. They're going to win. They're going to win it. So might as well jump on board.
Right.
I'm trying to get tomorrow's game. Early. You see it? Tomorrow's line is tomorrow's 2.5. I thought it would be 4.5, 5. Right. Because they really, since the first half, when they kind of were, they just didn't play great first. Since then, they've dominated. They've absolutely dominated every quarter. So I would be shocked if this line isn't 3.5, 4 by game time.
If there's a game that Minnesota's gonna win, it's gonna be game 3. Game 1 in Minnesota, right?
Ask Tony George about it. Did you see his tweet yesterday with Julius Randle? He's like, Julius Randle, hello, it's a playoff. It's a playoff game. He must have, I had a prop with it, Julius Randle over points and rebounds. He must have been on points or rebounds as well, because he was, they didn't even play him in the fourth period.
That was his big play, was his points over. And you know what? I'm just going to say, for me personally, those are the bets I feel like that are easier for me to walk away from when you miss a big play. You guys all know what it's like to everybody does. Everybody that's watching here knows what it's like to lose a big bet. You're the bet that you were just certain you were going to cash, right? For me, it is always better to lose like Tony did yesterday. He had over 19.5 points. Julius Randle scored 6. It wasn't even close. That to me is easier to handle. Be like, you know what? I was just wrong. Yep. I put up my bet on I was just wrong, rather than if he had 19 points and missed like his last 6 shots.
Missed a free throw.
At the free throw line.
Right. And it's just like, there's no way that they should have lost, and it did. So for me, just being wrong about something is always preferable to just taking a bad beat. That I can live with.
The props are the hardest.
Rip the Band-Aid off kind of thing.
Yeah, props are the hardest, Robert, because he didn't play the fourth quarter. So like the devil's advocate, Tony's probably like, dude, put him in, at least give him a chance to throw up a couple more bricks. But he was bad.
I had that happen with a big play in the NCAA tournament. I think it was on Alex Condon. Okay. He gets injured 4 minutes into the game. And I'm like, okay, he got injured. Nothing I can do. They brought him back in with like 5 minutes left in the game. I'm like, either he could play or he couldn't play. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And he didn't go over. So, props are tough, man, but that's why you take the wins with the losses, and that's why we're pros.
Fair enough. Well said. Edmonton Oilers, Dallas Stars. Craig, we know how Craig's betting this. He's betting Dallas first period, Edmonton full game. Okay. We all know how this works. He's been saying this since the beginning of the NHL playoffs. Doesn't matter who Dallas or Edmonton's playing, for the record. So
been good.
But we're going to go here to Nick. Nick, what are your thoughts on Edmonton here? Everybody underestimates Dallas this whole NHL playoffs, by the way.
100%. And Dallas at home, I mean, you saw how good they were in game 1, 6-3 final in that game. They cleaned up the Oilers. And not only did they clean up, they came back on the Oilers and had a very good finish to that game in that third period. But this is when Connor McDavid is at his best in a must-win game. I wouldn't say must-win, but it's a game they want to split the series going back to Edmonton here. Dallas is good, though. I would lean more towards this Oilers team, but the bet that I would make in this one is the over. Simple. There is going to be a lot of goals scored here. We saw it in game one. Skinner will be in net. If Skinner gets one early, he's going to be a head case the rest of the game. So I like that over 6.5 in this Edmonton Oilers and Dallas Stars game tonight, Lenny.
Yeah, that's a good point. If Dallas can get in Skinner's head early, they'll score 6 by themselves. It's a high total, though. Scares the hell out of me in NHL playoffs. Robert, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, not a ton different from Nick, but I don't trust Edmonton. I don't trust them. They're a high wire act, obviously, but there's something about them that I haven't liked the whole postseason, kind of to my own detriment. I think I missed some high value situations, but I do think Dallas is very good at home. I do think Dallas is going to win this series, and I do not think that there's just a ton of value either way on the sides. And in terms of the total, I don't release a lot of college totals. I will say that I agree that it feels a little high to me, just because this is kind of a pivotal game. If they go down, whoever wins this game is going to have all the momentum coming out of it. I can just see it being a little more clutch and grab late in this game. And it's just funny that Edmonton's in the same boat as the Knicks, right? Like, as a handicapper, you have to handicap the mental side of how are they going to bounce back from just a total meltdown in game one, and you just don't know.
I'll tell you what, I'm usually in these type series like to dabble with the draw in regulation. Like I mean dabble like pizza money here, okay? Because they're always like plus like 320, 330, way up there. And I like to draw in this matchup. I don't know why. I don't know for what. Oh, look, we saw somebody else be $100. You can snap that picture. You could have got him. You could have got him. You could have got him if you would have screenshot it.
$100. Leave it in the comments. You saw him.
All right, since we're talking NHL, let's go to our Canadian expert over across the border there. Craig Trapp, what are your thoughts on this NHL matchup?
I mean, Nick, what do you think if, say, they came back and it was 3-2? This line would be, I bet Edmonton would be slightly favored in this matchup. I feel like we're getting a little extra because people saw that last period and they're like, oh, yeah, Dallas is great. It's like, they had one really good period. They were down 2-1 headed into the third, though. Edmonton is the play. I mean, I just think Edmonton's the better team. Like, the Edmonton and the over, just book it. Parlay. Robert, close your ears. Parlay.
Let's sprinkle on it. Close your ears. Yeah, definitely. If the Edmonton Oilers are going to win this game, I see a lot of goals scored here, and especially Connor McDavid. I would take on a little player prop, anytime goal. We'll see what he could do in tonight's game. I think he's going to step up in a big, big way for this Edmonton Oilers. They need it. They want it, and they do not want to go down 2-0, head it back to Edmonton. But if they do, I've been high on this Edmonton Oilers team all season long. I would look at that futures bet if they're down 2-0 in the series.
Wow.
And that's a good play because if they go down 2-0, you can't count them out. I do think this series goes 6-7 games, so you can never count them out. I always looked at Edmonton as like a dysfunctional Toronto Maple Leafs, and that says a lot.
It gets more dysfunctional than the Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That says a lot. There's a whole lot more to be said there.
I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard to go back to back finals appearances. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't see it a ton from Super Bowl losers, NBA Finals losers. We're dealing with it a little bit here. I just wonder how much gas they have left in the tank. And again, there's a reason we don't see that happen very often. I don't have as much confidence in them as Nick does. I understand the talent, but I feel like there's just been something off with this Oilers team for like the last few months. They're still alive and they could win this game and take momentum back from the series, but I'm not going to trust them at all.
They're plus 370 to win it all right now. They were plus 230, I think we said. They were tied for first with Florida before these series started. So you get them at the value. Lenny, like you said, if they go down 0-2, they still haven't. I mean, they always say until you lose a home game, really, the series hasn't started. So I'm guessing you'll probably get them plus 470, plus 450. So maybe you wait if you want to play a future on Edmonton if they lose tonight. But I think there's good value either at the plus 370. Because if they did get to the finals, you probably could cash out at about even money.
Yeah. I'll also say this: the Dallas Stars and the Florida Panthers are the exact same team. I'm telling you right now. Nobody here has been running with the Florida Panthers or the Dallas Stars. The Avalanche are supposed to beat the Stars. The Jets were supposed to beat the Stars. The Oilers are supposed to beat the Stars, and the Panthers the same way. And I just think when it's Minnesota,
Look, I would
Indiana,
have loved to have been betting the Panthers throughout this whole playoffs, but the books have made it basically impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
With the way that they have put their money line. So that's the difference for me. It's like I'm with you, Lenny. I've been a big fan of this Dallas team. That's why I still think they're going to win this series. Florida is probably, they're dominating Carolina. That is a goddamn bloodbath, which I absolutely did not see coming. At this point, it almost seems fait accompli that they are going to win the championship again. Yeah. So I think Dallas would give them the best matchup, but we'll see. But yeah, like me not jumping on Florida has nothing to do with me and everything to do with
everything to do with the number too. I mean, if the number's not right,
exactly,
the number's not right. It is what it is. Hence, anybody that plays against Colorado,
I'm surprised they're only minus 150 tomorrow at home with the way that they have dominated those first two games. Like I was expecting that to be minus 185, minus 190, trying to force you to play that puck line again. I don't think 150 is high enough. If you like Florida, you better bet that now, because I do not think that number is going to hold overnight.
What was the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
Oh, it's over 20 years now.
So the state of Florida, let me get this, that gets zero snow and it's hot, has won like 3 championships since they've won one or more, right?
More, because Tampa Bay had more than that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Tampa Bay
crazy. Oh damn! Why can't this list?
Who was the last Canadian team?
Toronto. No, wait, that's what.
Got to be the Oilers, no? No.
Montreal Canadiens 30 years ago, 92, 93.
30 years ago.
Patrick Waugh. It's actually more than that. It's like 32, 33, something like that.
I wasn't even born yet. Haven't seen a Canadian team win yet.
That's crazy. The state of Florida, let's just say the South. The South versus Canadians won and Vegas won one. So we're talking about
Vegas, you got the desert. Yeah, you got Florida. I mean, heat is where the ice is at. That's where it's hot.
The Kings won one.
Let's get into the MLB slate here. Big MLB slate as all. I mean, it's Friday. It is what it is. I don't want to talk about Tigers. Craig, talk about baseball. I don't want to talk about Tigers.
Listen, the best thing about baseball is you can be wrong and your team can lose one day. The next day, you're fired up.
We're right back in it.
So, I would say baseball is the hardest sport to play, I think, for a player because, there's just no rest. You play every day. If you're in a slump, that's good because you get to play the next day and get out of the slump. If you're hot, that's good too. So I'm excited. I think it's a good card today. And I like my Reds and the Cubs under 8.5. Hunter Green coming back. I know he was on the IL, DL, whatever the hell they call it now. But I think he gets it, has a good outing. I don't expect him to go past 5 innings. But Boyd's been better than I thought this year. Both of these teams have been pretty good. The Reds they've won 10 in a row. The under has cashed 10 in a row for the Reds. I think this is the Reds are feast or famine, and they've been famine lately. Take the under in this matchup today. Cubs and the Reds. Important game, really, for the Reds. The Reds have been playing okay. If they can win this series against the leading in the division, I think this is positive for my Reds.
There you go. Let's go to Robert. Robert, what do you got for baseball today?
I like that play, Craig, and I like
that play a lot. Yeah,
just kind of in general, I liked the Reds coming into this season. They were like a value team for me, so I still think there's a lot of tickets to cash on them. But today, the more I think about this play, the more I think that this should have been a much larger play for me. I like Minnesota. I like the Twins minus 1.5 against Kansas City. Okay, you're getting plus money value with that around plus 115, plus 120. The key for me here is Noah Cameron. All right, rookie, lefty, pitching for Kansas City, been unbelievable in his first 2 starts. His first start, he had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning, right? He's only given up 3 hits and 1 solo home run is the only run in almost 13 innings over 2 starts, all right? No, this guy barely cracks over 90. You look at his peripheral numbers, his stuff is not that good. He only has 6 strikeouts to 5 walks in his 2 starts, and he's throwing a ton of pitches in the zone. So he's not really fooling anybody. He's just kind of getting lucky, I think. The more tape that people are going to get on this rookie, the more they're going to kind of figure him out. Minnesota, they're 22-10 in their last 32 games after that terrible 5-12 start. You got Pablo Lopez on the bump for them. You know, he does have good stuff. He's allowed 2 runs or fewer in 7 of his 8 starts. He actually lost to the Royals on April 8th. Minnesota lost 3 out of 4 to Kansas City in that first series. So I think that they're going to, be playing that revenge card a little bit. Big pitching mismatch. And Minnesota at home, plus money value. Really like Minnesota tonight.
I like that too. I already bet. I'm on Minnesota no bet 9th inning. I got it at -125, but I'm gonna bet the 1.5 because that's plus money. And I was just I can get head to cojones. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Listen, it's coming.
Robert's backing it up, so now my cojones just.
It's coming for Noah Cameron. If it's not this start, it will be the next start. But one of these next couple of starts, he is going to get his ass lit up for like 5 runs, 6 runs, and 3 innings of work. I know it's coming for this guy.
I like that. I like it. All right, Nick. Can't talk about the Cubs because you got your lucky hat on. But what do you like today?
Well, I wasn't lucky.
Cubs money line and on no.
Yeah, first 5 money line. Run line.
Lenny with the Detroit Tigers. Take the Cubbies and everything. Future World Series. Here we go. We got the Nationals and San Francisco. Rupp will be on the mound here for the Giants. He's 2-3. His last outing was really good against the Athletics. He went 5. He'd given up 5 hits and no earned runs against the Athletics. And for the Washington Nationals, they'll have Mackenzie Gore on the mound. He's 2-4 on the season, but he's their most reliable arm in this pitching rotation here. I think the Nationals, they're on a 5-game winning streak. They're hitting the baseball and producing runs very early in the ball game. We're going to eliminate the bullpen here. Take the Washington Nationals to come out hot against Rupp here in the first 5 innings at plus 105. I like the value here. These Nationals are a scrappy team at home, and they score runs early in ball games. So I like the Washington Nationals early first 5 over the San Francisco Giants here, Lenny.
I like that. I'll tell you what, one thing I'll say about the Tigers. I like the pitcher today. Jackson Jobe. Jackson Jobe. He's 22 years old.
A lot of potential.
He's going to be there forever. This kid is 4-0. I don't care. He's got a 4.12 ERA. They show up for this kid. They support this kid. They're at home. If you ain't betting the Tigers in every which way, shape, or form today, I'm a homer. I don't know what to tell you. What do you know? You got one baseball team, Canadian Craig, and they suck.
Lenny,
okay?
you can't win if you don't wear the Detroit Tigers hat.
Yes, I can.
Fair point.
It's like he doesn't have the hat on. See, I feel, although Nick didn't have a good day yesterday.
I need a rally hat. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
I'll do it backwards today.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Tigers first 5 innings, and I think that's a safer play. I do like the pitching matchup there. I do think they'll bounce back today. They didn't score runs yesterday too, so I do think they'll jump out early on.
Not to mention that game yesterday was played like in a tsunami. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen any highlights of it, but it rained the whole game. I'm not making excuses. They didn't show up. It is what it is.
The Tigers have won all 8 of Joby's starts this year.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
And that kid got thrown in the fire last year with playoff chaos. Pitching chaos. His first Major League Baseball start was an MLB playoff game. This year, he's got his actual first start. He's the 5th guy in the rotation. He's great.
Hey, by the way, so Funds for Prez said in the comments section, will the Red Sox beat the Orioles today in game 1? I think that this is a great spot for a doubleheader chase. Take the Red Sox in game 1. If they win, hey, you had a winning day. Great stuff. You're done. If they lose game 1, you bet over the top. Okay, maybe double what you lost in game 1 and game 2. I do not think the Orioles are anywhere near in shape to pull a sweep off in Fenway today. I think Boston, more likely it's a reverse sweep where Boston beats them twice. But I think that this sets up really nice for a doubleheader chase. Bet the Red Sox in game 1.
That's a great – you bring up a great point, Funds for Prez. How do you guys approach doubleheaders? Me personally, again, I bill myself as the degenerates – the public's degenerate. I'm the king of public here. I mean, for me, I know enough to be dangerous in betting sports, and I just stay automatically away from any kind of doubleheader at all.
He's a Michigan State fan.
Are you trolling me right now on college football, Daryl?
Wolverines.
I saw that. I was like, he's going to lose his mind.
Dude. we'll never talk about Michigan football. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
You want more videos of me solo by myself on Docs? It will never be about Michigan football. I guarantee you that.
Unless it's Michigan State at Michigan, or playing Michigan, and then he's picking Michigan State.
Yeah, and by the way, there's no little brother situation here. We're the fucking angry cousin. I apologize, you two. I swear it's college football. You should understand.
It's like
Craig, how do you approach? Or Robert's got to hold on real quick. We're going to plug Robert. What are the odds? 2
o'clock. Raphael and I are going to be breaking down the numbers for a lot of this weekend's top action. That is always fun. And before we spin it to Craig, I just told you how I like to play doubleheaders. I love chase betting, especially in mismatch things. Like if the Yankees were playing the Rockies, it's like, okay, they're going to kick the piss out of them at least one of these two games. So I like chase betting. And it's not chase betting where you can get into that third or fourth or fifth game where you really need that win and can wipe yourself out. Just a little 2-game chase is how I like to play doubleheaders.
I like that. All right, we'll get Craig's opinion on doubleheaders next week. I just realized what time it was. So we're going to let Robert go so he can get to What Are the Odds. Check that out, 2 p.m. Eastern. A lot of stuff on Docs Daily. You should be checking out, as always, every day. We're trying to cover as much content as possible for baseball games, MMA on deck, always UFC stuff, WNBA stuff, not just MLB. So if you hate baseball, there's other stuff going on besides baseball, but there's a lot going on. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be here tomorrow.
Hey, is the WNBA deal still up? We didn't mention it. Is it still up, Robert?
I'm not sure, but I believe so. Yeah, the 3-for-1 I know is still up, where you buy a package for one handicapper, you get 2 weeks, I think it is, free of any other 2 handicappers. So you get 3 handicappers worth of picks for one. Then you can kind of test drive out, see who you like, see who you want to roll with on a longer package, and or get a discount on multiple packages. So I know for a fact that is still up, but I'm not sure if we still have early bird pricing.
I think the other one's still up through, I think, Saturday or Sunday. But
big game tomorrow too. And New York, Indiana is going to be a big game.
Hey, so if you ever have problems, don't forget, at the website, you can always email them, service@docsports.com. You could also call them 11 to 5 weekdays, Robert?
Yep.
Right? Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, there's always somebody around. They're real responsive, especially with emails and stuff like that. So
yeah, so you actually get to talk to a person is what we're saying. Like if you have a problem, you're looking for something, you can't find it, you can always just call and they'll either tell you where you can find it or you can actually purchase right through them. So something that very, very, very few other companies have nowadays is someone that you can actually talk to if there's a problem.
And to be clear, he lives in the Las Vegas area, the guy that answers the phone. So don't give him any crap. Like
we got 2 now. One lives in Virginia, I think.
It's not Indian Cowboy that answers the phone. I'm just letting you know that right now. Okay. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Saturday. Let's go.